Okay, so things are starting to turn around a little bit more now for us. We go up against Boston and Kidderminster today. It's going to be pretty tough games, but I'm confident we're going to get 2 wins. Hey everyone, Journeyman here, and of course, welcome back to a Journeyman Journey. Today is episode 3 of the 2nd season in charge. We are still at Brackley Town, despite numerous interests from a lot of clubs. Now, I didn't bring you back for them, but we did have interviews at Swindon Town and Stevenage Borough, who are both playing in League 2, and unfortunately, those job interviews did not go successfully for me, but it's kind of nice to feel headhunted. So since the last episode, things have gone a little bit better for us. Obviously, switching back to the 4-3-1-2 formation has worked in our favour. After the Buxton game, we followed up with a 4-1 win over Tamworth away from home. This was actually a very impressive display. We absolutely annihilated a very strong Tamworth team, with goals from Dan Sweeney, Ronaldo, and then 2, surprisingly, from Dion McFoy-Johnson, who since then has actually been relegated to the reserves. But there's for a good reason. I'll show you guys in a few moments. Then we lost 3-1 against Harrogate. This was actually unlucky. We didn't really deserve to lose this game either. We outshone Harrogate, just couldn't defend very well. Then we lost 2-1 against FC United. Again, we dominated this one, just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And then most recently, we beat Workington 1-0, another goal from Jimmy Armson, who's just been absolutely on fire. He's got, 5 goals in the last 6 games for him, so he is absolutely having an absolute storm playing back behind the front too. So, transfers. I actually brought a couple of players in, believe it or not. Yeah, I brought 2 players in. First, Matthew Barnes-Homer, a well-travelled centre forward. He's played for Telford last season and notched up 18 goals in the league, an average rating of 7.04 with 8 assists to his name. So he's a really nice addition to the team. Hasn't really lit it up thus far, but Ronaldo's kind of played ahead of him. Ronaldo's kept his place in the team due to some good performances, and him being 32 years old as well. He's definitely on the decline. So as long as we get some production out of him, it'd be a pretty good signing for the bench. Then I brought in a promising young player, Bradley Reed, 23 years old. My scouts highly recommended him. Brought him in as kind of a poacher. But what that does with the signing of Barnes-Homer and Reed is now we have options to play wide players, which means I can switch to a 4-3-3 with 2 wide players and a defensive midfielder, just to give us another option, just another look, because right now we didn't really have any wide players, but now at least we have a couple to call upon if we want to. So going into today's game up against Boston, this is the league table right now. We are sitting 16th place on the table, and Boston are just above us in 11th. Now, obviously, we are only 9 points behind Stockport in the playoff spot, which is kind of nice having the playoffs going down to 7th this year. Kind of gives you a bit more hope in situations such as this. So, going into today, if we get 2 wins, be 2 very, very good wins, because Boston United, they're doing okay in the league, and then obviously Kidderminster Harriers, who are playing well too. They're in 2nd place. So 2 very tough games, but we'll go into this game with a little bit of positivity, a little bit of hope that we'll get a couple of wins. So this is how we're going to line up for today's game. Murphy's going to play in goal, obviously. Blackshaw on the left, Patterson on the right, Dean and Graham from the middle, no surprises there. With Sweeney, Duffus and Byrne in midfield. Jimmy Armson playing behind the front 2 of Pearson and Tommy Wright, who has been a real disappointment this year. His form has been, I would say, not very good, very average. He's got 3 assists to his name, though, in the last 5 games. So he is starting to form a very good partnership up top with Ronaldo. But I will be looking to bring him off if he's not performing. And that's why we brought in the likes of Reed and Barnes-Homer to make sure that we had some competition up top. Because previously, before that, there was no competition. If they were fit, they were playing. And I felt like that kind of led to a little bit of complacency. All right, so here we go. Going into today's game. Let me see, what can we do here to try and rev up the boys? Come on, lads, show me what we can do. Don't really rev them up at all. All right, so moving on. All right, so up against Boston away from home. Let's just try and hope for a positive result. All right, first time out of the game. Here's a corner kick. Ball is whipped in, and that was a great opportunity for Boston to get an early goal there. Crap defending. Absolutely awful defending. Should be used to that by now, though. Here is maybe a chance for us. Murphy's going to launch it forward. Ronaldo with a flick on this. Tommy Wright now through on goal. Gets past his man, but puts it wide of the post. He is just desperate to get a goal of any kind of sort lately. Obviously only got 1 goal for the season. A very disappointing return from the guy expected to score a lot of goals. Here he is on the ball again, though. Crap ball. Absolute crap ball there, Tommy. All right, Gareth Dean, let's see what you can do to Graham, who's definitely... his attributes are definitely starting to slip a little bit, Luke Graham, so I'm looking to replace him. There's Jimmy Arnson, the Tommy Wright. Here he is. Tommy Wright gets in there, my son. Fantastic finish there from Tommy Wright. All I said was he needed the goal, and I think, hopefully, this will be the start for a good run of form for him. He needed the goal, and I'm really happy to see him back on the score sheet today. Good build-up play too. Jimmy Armson just waited, dragged the defender out of position, and good finish there from Tommy Wright. Unfortunately, we have an injury. Patterson had to go off injured. I don't have a spare right back on the bench, but Jimmy Armson can play there at a push. So what we'll do is move Armson to right back, and then we'll bring on Deeney, and then we'll move... Oh, I don't know. Who else? Who should we play there? Who should we move there? Probably going to be Duffus, maybe. That would be kind of a natural change, and then we can move Dan Sweeney to a bit more of a deep playing playmaker role. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do Duffus in the hole for today's game. This will be the first time I've seen him play as an attacking midfielder in this formation. So hopefully he'll put in a good shift. And then Dan Sweeney's now picked up a knock as well. Fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted. Another injury to be worried about. All right, here is a throw-in for Boston. Good interception there from Duffus. Hits it long to absolutely no one. There's Rollins, gets the byline. Armstrong with the clearance. Hemmons in the box, puts it back in. We're defending well here. We're fighting, which is good. And here's maybe a counter-attack. Here's Deeney to Ronaldo. Well, and Deeney there through. Tommy Wright's now through on goal. Here's another chance to make it 2-0. Oh, Tommy. Should have scored. Should have scored. Now, Tommy Wright's also picked up a knock as well. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. All right, here's a highlight at the end of the first half. Goes to Blackshaw. Blackshaw to Duffus, to Tommy Wright, who's picked up a knock. He's struggling. He's probably going to come off at halftime. Ball's hit long here. Graham, don't think stupid. Plays it back to Murphy. Murphy's actually got pretty solid distribution, I've noticed. He tends to pick out his man pretty well. I haven't seen any glaring errors in his distribution. Here's Ronaldo, Tommy Wright. Great challenge that was. So this is a long highlight. Oh, and there's Tishmanga. We know he's a good player. He's got tons of goals last season for Boston. There he is, right on cue. Jesus, couldn't hold on to a halftime, could we? Just couldn't hold on to a halftime. All right, so 3 minutes of added on time. Here's another highlight. Let's not try and throw this lead away just before... Oh, it's going to happen. There's a Donegan throw on goal. What a save that was from Murphy. Fantastic save, Tim. In goal. Ball's whipped in, and Sweeney makes the clearance. But again, poor marking there. Again, who's marking him at the back post? Again, I've got to really start to rethink my set piece instructions, because I've noticed a lot of glaring errors. I'm not quite sure why, though, because it's the same as last year, and we didn't have this problem. All right, so halftime. 1-1. Bit of a poor end to the first half, and we have a few knocks to be concerned about as well. I'm going to bring off Tommy Wright. I'm going to bring on Bradley Reed. He's a bit more of a natural poacher than Matthew Barnes-Homer. Instead of Dan Sweeney, we don't have many options anymore, do we? Can anyone else play right back in this team? No, we're going to have to keep Jimmy Armson at right back. Not really ideal. Who else can play centre half? Can anyone play centre half out of pinch on a bench? No, not particularly. No, we're really, really short now, because we don't have that extra midfielder on the bench anymore because we're carrying two strikers. How about attacking midfield? Can anyone do a decent job at attacking midfielder? Not particularly. All right, we're going to start the second half here of what we have. Hopefully Dan Sweeney will hold out and his injury won't get too much worse, or he won't be too much of a liability in midfield. Here's Blackshaw to Sweeney. Blackshaw puts it ball in, and there's Ronaldo. Oh, come on. No, it was a great opportunity to make it 2-1. Disappointing finish there from Ronaldo. All right, ball one, Blackshaw again. He's actually put in some really good performances lately. He's got some praise from the Lee Unlove, who's a former favourite of Brackley. And some positive things from the fans as well. They're liking his performances. All right, there's Rollins. Come on, get stuck in there, Blackshaw. Ball's hit long. Dean does well to get there, but he only puts as far as Clark. Ball's put back in the box. Tishmanga. Oh, that's a good save there from Murphy. Good positioning. from Tim there. Made the save easy. Alright, here is Roosler deep inside their half. Ball's hit long here. Hopefully Reed will give chase. Ball's put back into our area. There's Maloney to Rollins. Good tackle there from Deeney. There's Ronaldo to Reed. He's been very kind of quiet this second half. There's Ronaldo through on goal and he scores. Ronaldo, get in there, my son. 2-1. Great through ball there from Jack Byrne. Picked out Ronaldo and the keeper. Didn't really do anything to try and stop it. So we'll take the goalkeeping error regardless. Yeah, through ball, poor defending, and the keeper didn't even bother to dive. Alright, so 2-1 up, half an hour left to play. Ball's whipped in here. That's a good clearance there from Ronaldo. Good tackle there from Byrne. And Duffus is now through on goal. Here's a chance. Oh, and he should have made it 3-1. I'll tell you what, we've had our chances today. If we'd taken at least half of them, we would be 4-1 up by now. Alright, here's Duffus. Back to Jack Byrne. Jack Byrne keeps it in play, but Taylor collects the loose ball. Alright, here's Blackshaw to Reed. Reed to Duffus. Terrible through ball there. The ball's hit long, looking for Tishmanga. Graham does well to win it, but we can't get the second ball in midfield. The ball's gone through to Tishmanga, who scores his second goal of the game. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that second ball in midfield. I mean, Graham did well to win the first one. Unfortunately, though, Tishmanga, it was a fantastic through ball, to be fair. Gareth Dean tried to get around on the cover, but he couldn't get there, and an easy finish there for Tishmanga. There's Armsmith's ball in the block to Byrne to Sweeney! Gets in there, Dan Sweeney on the volley. Off a layoff from Jack Byrne. Tell you what, that was a fantastic finish there from Dan Sweeney on the volley. Hit it straight at the keeper. Keeper, too much power for him, I suppose, and the ball ended up in the back of the net. Good finish there from Dan. Alright, here's another opportunity straight away. Here's Tishmanga, though. He's dangerous, got 2 goals already. Lays it away to Clark. Clark puts it to Tishmanga. That's a great challenge from Dino, I should say. Alright, here is Reed. Reed to Duffus. Duffus to Pearson, who's now through on goal. Oh, that was a fantastic effort there from Ronaldo. Just climbing just over the bar. Alright, 83 minutes on the clock. I'm going to make a change here. I'm actually going to bring on Ajiro Okasimi for Sweeney. He's not a midfielder, so what we're going to do is put Armson back in midfield. We're actually going to put Armson in attacking midfield and put Duffus back into a bit more of a central role. And Ajiro, he's not the fastest in the world. He's okay. He's actually probably faster than Gareth Dino. Let's put Gareth Dino right back. You know what? I'm going to keep Okasimi at right back. Again, this is a bit of a gamble. We're playing a player out of position now. But I feel like that's something we need to do just to preserve... Oh, that's a poor error. That's a good tackle for Okasimi, though, on the recovery. Alright, so I think it's a change we needed to make. Just because I felt like Sweeney perhaps was a liability in midfield with his injury. There's Clark. Good header there for Okasimi. Another benefit of having a really good player in the air at right back. He wins the ball in the air. That's a fantastic throw. Ronaldo's through on goal, surely. 3-1. There it is. 4-2. Ronaldo gets in there, my son. Good finish there from... good through ball from Tyrone Duffus as well. And a good finish there from Ronaldo. There's, a fantastic long ball there. Pearson, great first touch. And plays it past the goalkeeper. 4-2. Alright, 4 minutes added on time here. Looks like we're going to get a very, very impressive win here. And there's Bradley Reed, gets his first goal for the club. 5-2. Bradley Reed, good finish there from... a good assist there from Jack Byrne. I think that was his 3rd assist of the game as well for Jack. He's had an absolute stormer in midfield, and it's good to see Bradley Reed on the score sheet as well to break his duck. Alright, so 4 seconds left in this game. It's going to end up 5-2, which is a very impressive win away from home. Boston are definitely no slouches. And overall, it was a very impressive attacking display. Here's Blackshaw puts it in the box, but it goes behind for a goal kick. And that should be it. Should be finished here 5-2. There it is. A full-time whistle has just gone. So a fantastic result. All things taken into account. Very happy with that. And I think that'll help us move up the table a couple of spots maybe. Alright, so with that win, we're now up to 14th place in the table. And starting to catch up with the teams in mid-table, which is good. We're also creating a little bit of a distance now between us and Chorley. and Bradford, who are in the bottom three. So it's good to create a little bit of a gap there. And now it's hopefully we'll continue this form going into the next match. Sam Patterson, unfortunately, has a concussion. He's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks, so he's going to miss the Kidded Munster game. And Sweeney's going to be out 6 to 8 days. I'll leave it to the physio just to be safe, because he's not really our player, so I don't really like to force him to play through. Tommy Wright also enters cold drought, which is fantastic. And a couple of seconds are going around now. This is something I noticed last time out. If you look at the Vanarama National League North sack race, I'm actually equal favourite to get the sack at 6 to 1. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest with you. I think the border pretty content with my job, despite the poor start to the season. I think they're happy to see things starting to turn around a little bit. Here's something interesting though. Darlington, Ashley Young he might go to Darlington here as a player manager. He was obviously released by Man United last season, and he's favoured to get the job at Darlington. Now that would be a little bit surprising. Doesn't look that good of a manager, but yeah, that would be a little bit of a surprise if he got the job there. All right, so am I actually interested in any of these jobs? Not particularly, to be honest with you. Chester, not really. Chorley, definitely not. Darlington's an interesting one for me, just because of the history of the club. You know, the fact they were a very solid league team for quite some time, and now they're kind of a Phoenix club having to rise from the very bottom again. So that's actually that job doesn't look too bad. So if I get interested in that job, that's something I might look at. If I get a job interview, I may take a look at Darlington. All right, so we have one more game left in this episode. I'll see you guys just before the Kidded Munster game. All right, so I didn't mention it a few seconds ago, but Darlington have come in with a job offer for me. I'm going to go through this interview. The interview process is pretty much identical to as it was last season, so I'm not going to spend too much time reading it all to you. I'm pretty sure a few of you out there will be completely aware of what the interview questions are like. So I'm just going to answer it honestly. Honestly, the best I can here, because if I do get offered the job here at Darlington, it's going to be hard to turn down. They are a bigger club than Brackley, and I feel like that would be a good stepping stone to perhaps move into the next level of the Vanarama National League, because if you get Brackley there, it's very tough. There's not a huge following behind the club. Let me see. All right, it's fine. Good record, yep. Proven track record, sure, I'll lie to him. Yep. Excellent. Nope, don't need to make any changes. No philosophies at all. Top half of the finish is probably very reasonable, actually. I could probably compete for a playoff spot. £30,000, that's a lot of money. Wage budget is £6,000, that's a decent amount too. That's more than we have here at Brackley. So again, these are things I look at when looking. I feel like at the club, the future club, and moving to a different club, do they have more money to spend? Things like wage budget, transfer budget. Is there found? I mean, I also before as well. I actually checked Darlington's. Like most recent like information regarding like the how like the crowd, what attendance they get, because if you look at the attendance, the home attendance for the last home game was 1,400. Now, if you compare that to for us, for instance, I mean it's kind of night and day. It's going to be easier to compete in this league if because our last home game was 321 people. You know, it's like you're basically getting almost 1,000 more people to play at home games, and obviously that makes life a lot easier financially when you have like that, when you have that kind of support and backing from the supporters. So if I get offered the job at Darlington, I think I'm gonna take it. Oh, very interestingly as well, I've just been offered a job interview at Northampton Town. Now, I'm not quite sure why I've been offered a job at Northampton Town. They play in League One, and I would say that I'm not really qualified for that job. So, based on a realistic kind of scale, I'm actually just not even going to bother to do the interview. It's kind of a waste of my time. It's kind of a waste of their time as well. I mean, it's flattering that they want to offer me a job interview, but I don't think it's very realistic for me to go for that job. All right, so here we go. We'll put all that distraction aside of potentially moving to a new club. And we're up against Kiddisman today, who are very much favourites for today's game. They obviously on top of the table. They've been listed as inconsistent form, so maybe we can catch them off guard. And obviously we have a little bit of momentum going into it in the last 2 games. All right. So let's... the last time we played each other we got 2 draws apparently. So 2 pretty even match teams. But however, of course, we are missing Sam Patterson today, but we have Ellis Miles to come in as the natural replacement. Dan Sweeney allegedly is good to go, so I'm going to play him at 91% and then just hope for the best. Hope he doesn't pick up any further injuries. So, going into this game, obviously it's very difficult. So we are playing at home, however, and I always fancy us at home. Even though we only have 300 people supporting us, I still fancy us today. All right, so here we go. Let's get things rolling. Let's see if we can make it 3 wins in a row. And if we do that, I'd pretty much consider the season turned around and we can start moving up the table a bit more, start putting pressure on teams above us. All right, so here we go, up against Kidderminster at home. Let's just hope for a positive result today. All right, so I was worried about Dan Sweeney, but Jack Byrne has just picked up a knock. He's going to have to come off here. So Deeney's going to come on now as a natural replacement. But disappointing to get another injury. What kind of injury is it? Just out of interest. Can I see that? Will it show me? Looks like it won't show me here. It's okay, though. Whatever the case is, we'll just hope it's not too bad. All right, first highlight the first half, I should say. 36 minutes on the clock. Here's Armstrong looking for Wright. Can't find him. This leads to a potential counter-attack now for Kidderminster. There's Walker to O'Neill, who's through on goal. Oh, good save there from Murphy in goal. He's a good shot stopper. I've seen him make some absolutely class saves this season. And the corner's easily cleared there from Dino. Good stuff, Dino. All right, says Wilson. That's a speculative effort. And it goes harmlessly wide. All right, just before the end of the first half, here's another highlight. Now, it's been largely Kidderminster the last 15 minutes or so, and there's another chance and another good save from Murphy in goal. So we're hanging on here. We just got to hang on till halftime, and then we can kind of regroup and approach the second half for some fresh legs, perhaps. So, all right, so not a terrible first half. We are holding on, though. That's definitely an understatement. It's been largely Kidderminster in that first period. So we'll go into the second half with the same team out there. Obviously, we have Barnes, Homer, and Reed on the bench in case we have to change things up top because honestly, Ronaldo has a chance now early in the second half, and it's a goal. Dan Walker gets on the score sheet. Dan Walker, who did he used to play for? MK Dons, Southend, some team in Austria. All right, so 1-0 down within 25 seconds of the second half. All right, here is Murphy with a goal kick. Let's see if we get a highlight here. If we don't, then I'll definitely make those changes I was talking about a few minutes ago. Here's Walker, plays it up wide. Come on, got to close him down a bit quicker than that. Dino makes a clearance, good clearance there. Here's Jimmy Armson, hits it long. Tommy Wright has got a beating over Connie. He's through on goal. Tommy Wright, get in there, my son. Good finish there from Tommy. Great through ball from Jimmy Armson. Back to front football at its finest. Fantastic spot from Jim Armson, though, and that's a fantastic weighted through ball, and Tommy Wright latched onto it. And good finish there from the unknown striker. All right, here's another highlight. Here is O'Neill. Good tackle there from Deeney. Crunching challenge, love it. There's Ronaldo, Tommy Wright. Through ball to Deeney. Deeney, oh! The move started with him, almost finished with him. That was a good opportunity there. Good save from the keeper in the end, though. There's Jimmy Armson. Pulls it back to Deeney at the edge of the area. Gets in the box. Instead of shooting, though, he tries and lays it off to Richard Duffus, and it's easily cleared. Still should have shot from the edge of the area, Deeney. All right, 70 minutes on the clock. Here's another highlight. Ball's hit long here. Can't find anyone in red and white. All right, one Dino there. Got to try and win the midfield battle. That's a good challenge from Dan Sweeney. And almost a miscommunication there between Blackshaw and Murphy, but we did well in the end. Ball's hit long to no one. There's Deeney on the ball. Deeney into Miles. Terrible long ball. I was going to say decent long ball, but it was atrocious. No one made the run. Nobody anticipated the long ball. All right, so the highlight's still going here. Surprisingly. Ball's flicked on. O'Neill's through on goal, and it's Route 1 football, and it's given Kidderminster the lead. 2-1. Awful piece of defending there. I don't know who was picking up the run of O'Neill. I'll take another look and see who's to blame for this one. Ball's flicked on. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think Dean went walkabout there at the heart of defense and left the pocket of hole for O'Neill to get into. All right, so here is Jimmy Armstrong with a free kick. Puts the ball in looking for Pearson. Can't find him. Thomas now leads a charge for Kidderminster. Got to get close down to him. Ball's put in. Ball bounced around the box. And it's 3-1 all of a sudden. All right. So, yeah. All right, let's make a change up top then. Let's bring on Barnes-Homer and Bradley Reed. Put some fresh legs out there. Let's switch to a very fluid system and let's go on attack. Let's see if we can somehow get ourselves back in this game. We're going to have to score quickly if we want to get something out of it, though. All right, here's Homer to Reed. He scored in the last game. There's Deeney through on goal. Oh, a decent opportunity from Deeney, but puts it over from the edge of the area. Here's the experienced striker Arnson. There's Reed through on goal. Good save there from the keeper. Rushing out to approach Reed, but it was a good save in the end. Ball's whipped to near post. Can't find anyone. There's Deeney to Sweeney. And the ball is cleared. All right, so it looks like it's not going to be our day, folks. Here's Barnes-Homer. Nope, intercepted. And it's another opportunity now for Kidderminster to attack us. O'Neill gets in the box, puts the ball in, but Graham makes a good clearance. Here's Johnson to Otim. That's a fantastic ball. Good header and a good save there from Murphy in goal. I mean, Murphy can't really be faulted today at all. He's put a pretty solid display in goal. His defence in front of him haven't helped him out, though. There's Deeney, Blackshaw. We're putting the pressure on him now, which is pleasing. It only took us 86 minutes to do so. There's Sweeney with the effort. Oh, always curling wide. Good effort, though, from Dan Sweeney. He's got himself a couple of goals this year. Much better return from him. All right, so into extra time now. And the result pretty much is set. There's Deeney looking for a consolation, but he puts it over the bar again. Not the best finisher in the world, is he? Had his chances today to find the back of the net. Couldn't do so, though. And that's the last effort of the game, I imagine. And just waiting for the referee now to blow the full-time whistle. All right, ball booted along, and there it is. Full-time whistle has gone here at St. James Park, and it ended up with 3-1 defeat against Kidderminster. Honestly, I'm not too disappointed with the display. I thought we did okay for large portions of the game. The only thing we really lacked was, defending was terrible, I'll tell you that much. Everything else was wood. We created opportunities, but defensively, we got let down again. So, obviously, the team disagrees with my sentiment, and probably rightfully so. So, all right. So with that defeat, let's see where we are on the table now. Hopefully, yeah, we stay 15th place in the table still, and okay, this is interesting. So the board wished to hold a meeting regarding my position at the club. Your performance has been good enough, and your position is under serious threat. Failed to attend has been a result in board terminate your contract. All right, so let's go and attend this lovely meeting, shall we? We're not happy with the current performance. We'd like to know why you think the team has performed so badly. I'm going to say I don't really... I mean, all these are kind of bitch answers. I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish there was more options to me. For me, I should say. I'm going to say unlucky with injuries. We've had some injuries. They disagree with that one. I'd say, tell me what I need to do to save my job. There were 9 points in the next 5 games. I said I can do that. I won't let you down. So... the pressure is on now to try and keep my job alive. Obviously, we have that job interview with Darlington. I think that went well. If we get offered the job at Darlington, I think I'm going to take it. But otherwise, basically, we have 5 games to save my job now. We've only got one win 9 points. Let's take a look at the fixtures ahead and see who we're playing. We're playing Halifax twice. The FA Trophy, I don't believe, counts in this. So we play Halifax, Leamington, Blythe, Chorley, and then Nuneaton. There's a couple of tough games in there, but for the majority of things, I think we can pick up 9 points in the next 5 games. That shouldn't be a problem. But saying that, though, our form, unfortunately, has been a little bit too patchy, and we need to try and fix what's happened in the back line. As you can see, we could see it in far too many goals this year. So, pressure's on. Got to get 5 games to keep my job. Or maybe I'm going to be looking for a new job, perhaps, in the very near future. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, maybe leave a like on it. If you want to see more videos by me in the future, please hit subscribe to notifications on. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.